Jnananjana Shalakya
Salakya
Chakshuru
Suruntam
Tamyena Tasmai Shri
Tasmai
Guru
Sri Gurave Namah.
Namo Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena
Sthaptam
Bhutale Swayam Rupa
Swayam
Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadhavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaur Vishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome all devotees for today's discussion on Bhagavad Gita chapter 7. So we have been discussing the chapter 7, the part of demigod worship. And today we will discuss about the impersonal worship, and also we will go ahead and we'll try to complete this chapter today. Only 5-6 verses are remaining. There are total 30 verses. Okay, so let's see how much we can do. So okay, before we start discussion, anybody would like to share what we discussed yesterday? So yesterday we started discussing from shloka number 21. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architum ichchati tasya tasya achalam shraddha tam eva vidadami aham. Correct. So we started discussing from there. So can somebody share some points from this shloka? What we were trying to discuss on this?
Hare Krishna. So, in shloka number 21, we saw that how like one desires to worship some demigod, then Krishna says that I make his faith study so that he can devote to particular deity. So we are discussing how like even in purport that even Krishna recommends, but it is like analogy of wine shop. It is like wine shop. When license is given to the government, it doesn't mean that government is promoting it, but it is giving an not opportunity, but giving a chance so that people will not brave it at their home and will be a cause of disease. And why does Krishna do? Then that's a question. So we discussed that how Krishna doesn't interfere with in independence of a living entity. If he wants, then he allows.
Yeah.
So and 7.21 and then 22.
Yeah, somebody else can share. 22. Okay, thank you, Arun. I think you covered most important points. Yes, Kishore Madhupraji.
Yeah, Prabhu, yesterday you made a very good exercise, tabular details, that after doing different bhaktis, especially with reference to 23, the less intelligent people, when they go to very temporary locations, and one who does the bhakti of supreme planet reaches his planet, and then they draw a table, and we saw where like Golok, Moksha, and all those things that we discussed yesterday.
Yeah, that was on shloka number 16 actually. Yeah, 7.16. Sukritina. 4 types of Sukritina, they fall under Pradhani Bhut Bhakta. Yes, okay. So about shloka number 22, we discussed Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasya Aradhanam Ihate Labhate Cha Tatah Kaman Mayeva Vihitan Hitan. So here we were discussing, endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. So somebody can share on this shloka, we discussed something, some points.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji.
In 7.22, you explained that Lord gives two things, faith and result. That is Shraddha. To worship a particular type of demigod, that also Lord bestows that desire in us, and also the results of that worship. Then demigod worship have some faith according to their own natures, demigod worshippers. That is Swabhavajam Shraddha. And Vishnu worshippers have some faith because of Shastras, that is Shastra Shraddha. This point I like very much. Then devotional service caused by lust, uh, they will go to demigods. Then when one tries to fulfill his lust and then because of his inferiority motive, he turns towards the Lord, then he worships demigods. That then doesn't fulfill such desire, undue desire. So what was the meaning of undue desire? You explained very nicely. Lord being Supreme Father never grants desire not conducive for bhakti. And then you explained that very nice story of a sick child, his elder sister gives him paratha, which was not advised him to eat, and how the mother scolds the elder sister. So it was very easy to understand. So in that way. Then in 7.2, this Lord discriminates. Supreme Lord also discriminates while he is granting our desires. Then adhikar of the devotee is his goal. That is Amivigya Sei Murkha Vishay Kena Dina.
Yes.
Then Pradhani Bhut Bhakta comes to the Lord to fulfill his material desire. For Keval Bhakta, Lord won't fulfill desire. So Pradhani Bhut Bhakta, example of Dhruva was discussed, and a pure duty of the Lord, therefore not awarded the material benefit. That is
So,
about 7.
what are the last line? Pure devotee like Dhruva?
Of the Lord, therefore, is not awarded the material benefit, and in case the Lord awards it, it is only to redirect him towards pure devotional service.
Yeah. Lord purifies the heart. Yeah, awards also and purifies the heart also.
Yes.
Yeah, both it does. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
this is
Thank you.
what I understood about 7.22. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So based on this, actually 7.22, Ami Vigya Sai Murkha, what you quoted, that was there in Chaitanya Charitamrit's quotation in Prabhupada's purport in the text number 22. So it was there also. I did not show yesterday, but it was there. Okay, 7.23. Antavattu phalam tesham tad viddhi alpamedesham tad bhavati alpamedesham deva deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. So here Srila Prabhupada writes, men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach to my supreme planet. Okay, so somebody would like to share some points on this shloka? We discussed 23rd shloka. Yeah, whoever has not shared, Mukund Pad, would you like to share something? Yesterday you were there, Naproj. I don't know. Yeah, you were reading also. Yes, Proj. You would like to say something on 23rd verse, what we discussed?
Yeah, basically, Prabhuji, I think you inform about the people who has the less intelligence, how they approach the demigods, and I think we also went for the some 17 point few of the verses where we saw the uh, different kinds of people who Swabhavajat means by their own nature or 3 modes of nature, they used to follow some sort of devotional activities, and in that also how they used to I do not able to exactly recall it, but some of the things we saw yesterday, how exactly happens with the people who follow the devotional service or follow some sort of pious activity based on their nature. And here also we saw the kinds of people who follows the demigod worship based on their desires which they want fulfill get faster, and those desires are limited and uh, also temporary. Whereas the devotees who for Keval Bhaktas or who worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, they get the fruits which are permanent, as well as they are help them to elevate themselves on the spiritual platform.
Yeah. So yeah, basically differentiation is made that who gets temporary results are the demigod worshippers, and the worshippers of Supreme Personality of Godhead, they get permanent results like that. And then we were also discussing yesterday that how the worshipper of Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though they may be Pradhani Bhut Bhakta, they may be doing Karma Mishra Bhakti, they will go to Swarga, but they will not fall down from Swarga just like ordinary people who go to Swarga, who are doing Guni Bhut Bhakti. Those who are doing Karma Kanda, they also go to Swarga, but they come down after the piety is gone. Piety is lost, then they will come down. Yeah, piety is spent basically, not lost. Yeah, they spend the piety. But this Pradhani Bhut Bhakta, those who have Bhakti in majority, they will also go to the Swarga, but they will not fall down. They will enjoy till the time they want. And then generally they will get, frustrated with the enjoyment they are trying to do. But because Bhakti is prominent in their life, they will get slowly purified. And then they will, from there, go ahead to Vaikuntha after the heart is purified. So I will show one shloka for this. This is from 5th canto, chapter 19, shloka number 27. Okay, so this is Satyam Dishati Artitam Artito Ninam Naivartado Yat Punarartitayatah Swayam Vidatte Bhajatam Anichchatam Ichha Pidanam Nijapada Pallavam. Okay, somebody can read translation. Okay, Mugad Padru, would you like to read translation?
Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of devotees who approach him with such motives, but he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotees shel- However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it. And that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's supreme special mercy.
Yeah, so this is what we were discussing yesterday also. So the Lord fulfills the material desire. He does not reject anybody who comes to the Supreme Lord saying that I want to go to Swarga or I want to go to Vaikuntha, but I want to have enjoyment there. Sukha Aishwarya Uttar Mukti. Correct. So Lord will not reject that desire. He will surely fulfill it. Okay. He will, whoever comes with such motives, he fulfills. Like Lord also says, Akama Sarva Kamava Moksha Kama Udaradhi. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. So whoever worshipping the Purusham Param, Bhagavan Vishnu, okay, or Krishna, then Lord will fulfill. Whether it is Akama, devotional desire, Mokshikam, liberation, or Sarvakam, all the kinds of desires, he will fulfill. But there is a condition. He does not bestow benedictions upon the devotees that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. So he will fulfill in a way that he will not keep asking such benedictions. He will give it permanently. That is one meaning. So he will give it permanently, and at the same time, he will purify the heart so that the heart will not again hanker for same desire. Okay, like that. And also another meaning is that the Lord will not give such harmful things to the devotees who have set their goal as prema. Somebody has set his goal, I want prema. He has declared to the Lord, Lord, I want prema only. But sometimes he goes to the Lord and asks for some material things which is not good for his devotional service. So the Lord will not fulfill at that time. He will say, Ami Vigya Sei Murkha Visha Kene Diva. Correct? Like that. So those some people who have not set their goal as prema, those who are like Sukhaishwara Uttar Mukti, Guni Bhut or Pradhani Bhut Bhaktas, they are not Kevala Bhaktas. For them, Lord will not reject them. Okay, He will give them. He will fulfill their desires because their goal is not prema. Okay, like that. And then second line says, however, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at His lotus feet. So He will give the benediction also. He will fulfill the material desire. But He will also give something He has not asked. What He will give? He will give His own lotus feet also. Even though such a person does not aspire. So the person like Dhruva, he did not go to the Lord for his lotus feet. But ultimately he attained the wealth also and the lotus feet also, both. So that is how we have to understand that Lord is very merciful. He does not only fulfill the desire like demigods do, but demigods cannot give permanent results. But Lord gives permanent results and He fulfills the desires and He gives shelter to lotus feet also. And what happens by that shelter of lotus feet? Satisfies all his desires. Correct. This is very, very important. That satisfies all his desires. So it's like somebody goes to a mall and he has some money and he will purchase one item. But suppose there is a lottery in the mall that every 1 lakh person who come, means 1 lakh person who comes, he'll get to purchase anything in the mall. Correct. Sometimes they have this. So they are keep counting. Whenever it reaches to 1 lakh, that person, when he enters the mall, they will tell you can purchase anything you want. Even though he may have 500 rupees only, but he can purchase everything. So like that, whoever comes to the Lord, he gets the desires fulfilled, and at the same time, he gets lot more things that he will not ask any material thing in more. Okay. So that is Supreme Personality of Godhead's special mercy. Okay, so you can note down this shloka number 51927. Read the purport later. Okay, which is very, very important shloka. This is from the prayers of the Jambudvip Vasis. Okay. Correction. Okay. So any questions on what we discussed yesterday, these 3 shlokas? So then we will do an exercise based on these 3 shlokas. So those who have not joined yesterday, maybe they missed, they can also understand this concept. Okay, so I'm going to make one chart here. So devotees who have attended yesterday's class can answer what all things we discussed, and then we'll go to 24th shloka. Okay. So yesterday basically we discussed 3 shlokas. Okay, 21, 22, 23, and 20 we had already discussed in the last session, last week. So that shloka also we will cover in this exercise. Okay, so keep your notes with you so that we can discuss. Okay, so this is from 7.20 to 23. Okay, this section we are going to discuss. Okay, so there are okay, different kinds of worshippers we discussed. So somebody remembers what we discussed from 17th chapter? 4 shlokas we read. Can somebody tell in essence what are the 4 shlokas essence? 17th chapter shlokas we read.
Hare
What
Krishna.
are yes, Deepali Mataji.
Prabhu 7.1 to 7, sorry,
17.
17.1 to 5, they are basically showing the Swabhava of person that Arjuna is asking that from where that Swabhava comes. Then Krishna explains that.
What he explains, little more. From where it comes.
Yeah, he explains that the person who is in mode of goodness, he worships demigods. Who is in mode of passion, they worships demons, and who are in mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts or spirits.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So somebody else can tell from where this nature is arising. One word, particular word was used there by Lord Shri Krishna. From where this is arising, this faith. Okay. Yes, Deepali Mataji.
Their own prakriti, their nature.
That is the shloka we discussed here in the 20th shloka. Prakritya niyatah swaya, their own nature. But what was the word used in 17th chapter? I'm asking.
Swabhavaja.
Yes. Kishore Madhapu. Thank you, Paji. Swabhavja Shraddha, actually. So we discussed that three modes have given some impressions to this person, and he has some material desires based on that, and he wants to fulfill it. So, because he is not going to the scriptures and asking whom I should worship, he already decided that I want to worship Uma or Durga or Kali, somebody. He goes to scripture and asks, how can I worship them so that I can get certain result? Okay, that is the difference. So that is called Swabhavjam Shraddha. Shastri Shraddha is that the person has faith in Shastra. He goes to Shastra and asks, whom should I worship? And what the Shastra says, worship Vishnu or Krishna. Okay, like that. And then we discussed about Devi Puran and all that how Devi Puran glorifies Devi as highest, even compared to Shiva, Vishnu, Mahesh, all this, Brahma, everybody. Okay, so now we are going to discuss based on that shloka also. Okay, so here the shloka 20, if you remember, it was said that living entity only desires to worship somebody. So first column we'll make the worship of some personality who is being worshipped. So who desires, actually here we have to understand the living entity desires the worship of some personality. Okay. So let's say Vishnu or Krishna. Okay. So this is first type of personality. Yeah. So can somebody tell what other personalities this living entity can desire to worship?
Demigods.
Yes, demigods. Yeah. Yeah. So in this, let's make two sets for Lord Vishnu and Krishna. Okay. And then you said demigods. Okay. What else he can desire?
Demons.
Yes,
Spirits.
correct. Demigods. And that is in goodness, you are saying. And then passion.
Demons.
Huh?
Demons in passion.
Yeah, the demons. Okay. And
Demons.
ghosts,
Spirits or ghosts in ignorance.
etc. Okay. And any other category of worship is there? Anything else we discussed? Any other category of worship? Anybody remembers? Okay, let's go ahead and see if you remember later. Okay. So living entity is desiring this. Please remember, this is not the desire of anybody else, but living entity himself desires to worship Vishnu or Krishna. So I made two columns here. So we will see. So as we discussed yesterday, one very important thing we have to remember that the faith. Okay. So here we have the type of faith a person can have. Okay. So what is the type of faith a person can have? So as we studied yesterday in Bhagavad Gita 17.1 to 4. So there it is described about which kind of Shraddha? Swabhavjam Shraddha. Okay. And there is another type of Shraddha which is Shastri Shraddha. Where this was described? Anybody remembers? We discussed this also. Where was this described, Shastri Shraddha?
7.22.
Where?
Vishnu worship verse
Ah.
have faith, Shastra Shraddha.
Correct. But where? Yeah, where? Which shlokas?
17.1.
No, 7.20 I discussed in the purport, but which
22.
shloka?
22, Prabhuji.
The 17.1, it says that identity is based on Swabhava and not on Shastra.
Correct. So that we already wrote, Prabhuji. That is first point here. That 17.124 is Swabhavjam. And Mataji is saying 7.22. 7.22 is endowed with such a faith. That is also about demigods only, Mataji. That is also Swabhavjam Shraddha. I was saying in that Shastri Shraddha is another thing. Okay. This we discussed in Kapila section. In Srimad Bhagavatam, if you remember, we discussed Bhakti in the mode of goodness, passion, and
Passion and
ignorance.
ignorance.
Okay. So there we discussed that these all three kinds of people worship Vishnu only. Okay. So they are in the category of Shastri Shraddha. They are also possibilities there of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay. So that's what we were discussing. So these two types of people are there. We'll have two categories. So first type of the people who are there, they have the nature of their faith is transcendental, or we can use the word nirguna. Means they are doing kevala bhakti. Okay, that's also called kevala bhakti. Remember we discussed this, that their mood is only to please Krishna or Vishnu. That is called kevala bhakti. This is their category. But there is another type of person who worship Vishnu or Krishna, and his faith is also based on Shastra. But there is possibility of the three modes: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Okay. So somebody remembers? Here, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas we discussed from Lord Kapila section, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29. Shloka number, I don't remember. I will have to see. You can see it later. Okay. So, does anybody remember what was the goodness there? Worship of those which is in goodness. What they want, what they desire.
Jnani Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Jnani, Artho, Jitnasu.
No. These are the categories. You remember we discussed that those who want liberation, correct? Those who want to destroy their karma. Okay, I will show that verse. It will be confusing.
And they desire service of Lord.
Sorry?
They desire service of Lord.
They desire service of the Lord.
Well, you told yesterday.
For this Shastri Shraddha?
Shastri Siddha, which is like Nirguna, transcendent.
No. Okay, I'm going to show this shloka. Just see. Okay. This is third canto, Kapila section, 29th chapter. Okay, what he is saying here. Okay, read this 329.8. Yes, Arun Prabhu, can you read?
Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is a separatist is considered to be in the mode of darkness.
Yes. So he is worshipping Supreme Lord only. But what is his aim? His aim is he is envious, he is proud, to be violent and angry, and who is a separatist. These are his aims. Okay. So read next one. Yes, please read this.
The worship of deities in the temple by a separatist with a motive for material enjoyment, fame, and opulence is devotion in mode of passion.
Yes. Yeah. And read this.
When a devotee worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the result of his activities in order to free himself from the inebrities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness.
Yes. So whom is he worshipping? So please, all of you kindly see here. He is worshipping whom? Worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Supreme
Krishna,
Personality of
Vishnu.
Godhead.
But in which mode is in? Goodness. This is not Nirguna. This is not Kevala Bhakti. He has some other desire. What is his desire? To become free from the karma, fruitive activities. So this is worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead in goodness. Okay. Similarly, here there was worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead in passion. And what is his motive? The motive for material enjoyment, fame, and opulence. So this is not Nirguna Bhakti. A devotee who is practicing Nirguna Bhakti wants to give up all this. This is all anartha for him. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show. So please keep this in mind. This is third canto, 29th chapter, shloka number 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So we'll go back here. Okay. So this is worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So here is 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so Sattva-rajas tamas, they are also worshipping Vishnu or Krishna only. And previously also these people are worshipping Vishnu or Krishna, but that is the worship in the mode of Nirguna, transcendental, Kevala Bhakti that is called. But these are all not Kevala Bhakti. Okay. So now demigods, when the people are worshipping, or demons or ghosts, etc. So they are worshipping in which type of faith? Is their faith based on Shastra or what?
Swabhavaja.
Yes, it's based on their own nature. Correct. So they have their own nature. Based on them, they are worshipping. Swabhavjam Shraddha they have. Okay. And what is the nature of their faith? Is it Nirguna or is it having modes?
Modes.
Yes. So again, here it is Sattva, they worship demigods. And if they have Rajas, those people have Rajoguna and they have Swabhavjam Shraddha, they will worship demons. Those who have Tamoguna and their faith is based on their own Swabhava, they will worship ghosts. Okay. So please understand this categorization, very important these all things are. Okay. And one more category is going to come, I'll show. First we'll complete this. Okay, so this is the nature of their faith. Okay. Now the question comes, okay, who is giving them the faith? Who gives the faith?
Lord
gives
gives.
the way.
Lord
Okay, let us discuss one by one. Somebody worships Vishnu or Krishna. He is desiring to worship Vishnu or Krishna. And his faith is based on Shastra. Who is giving the faith to him? Yeah, you can answer. No need to raise hand.
Shastras give them faith.
Shastra is not giving faith.
Sorry.
Shastra's faith is based on Shastra. Who is giving him faith as
Krishna
super
is
soul?
only
Krishna,
giving them.
Krishna is
Krishna is only
giving
giving
faith.
faith.
Yes, yes. Krishna or
and-
Vishnu, he is giving as super soul. Okay, see the verse 21. Okay. What is written in the first line? I am in everyone's heart as super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So there Krishna is saying about the super soul form. He gives the faith to demigod worshippers. But for others, those who worship Vishnu or Krishna, so this same super soul, we can say, or Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, based on whom he worships, they will give the faith to that person. And same thing, somebody who is having Shastri Shraddha and he worships Vishnu, but he has three modes, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Who will give the faith to them?
Krishna only.
Yeah, Krishna only is giving the faith. Okay. So, Lord Vishnu or Krishna, through the super soul, agent of the super soul, they are going to get the faith. Okay. Yeah. So, type of faith we discussed, the nature of their faith we discussed, who is giving that faith also we discussed. And then one more thing is here, what type of intelligence they'll have. I will have to erase this. Right here. Hope you have noted down. So this next thing is what kind of intelligence they have. Okay. So what is the type of intelligence? So can you tell me what is the intelligence the demigod worshipper has? What is told in this set of slokas from 20 to 23? What kind of
Alpa-
intelligence is described?
Alpamedhasa,
Yes, they have. What is the English of that?
Short
Or
less intelligent,
Huh?
less intelligent,
Less
less
intelligent.
intelligent people.
Alpa Medha. Okay, they are less intelligent. Okay, so somebody can tell now, somebody worshipping Vishnu or Krishna based on Shastri Shraddha, what type of intelligence they have? This is not there in this section, but somewhere else you have read. I have quoted also that shloka. Today also we quoted.
Shastrik Shraddha.
Yeah, Shastri Shraddha is the type of faith, and Swabhavajam Shraddha is the type of faith. So those who have Swabhavajam Shraddha, their intelligence is considered Alpamedha. But this is called, you have heard this, Yajanti Sumedasa, okay, or Udaradhi.
Udaradhi.
Correct. Today we discuss Akama Sarvakama, Mokshkama, Udaradhi. Here is Alpamedha, Alpadhi. Dhi is intelligence. Or we say Sumedhasa. Where is that shloka coming? Anybody remembers? Yagye Sankirtanam Praye Yajanti
Sumedhasa.
Sumedhasa. So they are very intelligent. Okay. So they are very intelligent. That is what is said. And somebody worshipping Lord Vishnu or Krishna under the three modes for different fulfillment of desires. So what is their intelligence called? Again, it is called same, Udardi.
Same as all. Same as all.
Why? Because Akama Sarvakama wa Mokshakama Udardi. Any kind of desire you have, if you come to Lord Vishnu, then that is called Udardi. Okay, they are also intelligent. They may not be very intelligent because they have material desires, but they are at least coming to Vishnu like that. This is the type of intelligence they have. Okay, so now one more verse describes about the results they get. So demigod worshippers, they get what kind of results?
Temporary results.
Yeah, so what is that word used there in the shloka? Antavat. Antavat phalam. Correct? Let us
Perishable.
write.
Perishable.
Perishable.
Okay. Temporary results. And what kind of result the worshipper of Supreme Person of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna get? If they are doing Nirgun Bhakti. Nirgun Bhakti, they will get what result they will get?
Imperishable.
Yeah, imperishable, correct. Permanent result. Okay. And what is that result?
Krishna Prem.
Yes. So they get prema. And that is a permanent result they get. And what is the result these people get who worship according to the three modes, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas? They worship Vishnu only. This is like Pradhani Bhut Bhakti. Okay, this is Pradhani Bhut. So what are the results they get?
they get immediate and ultimate result. Immediate result as their
immediate result, yeah, correct. So they'll go to either go to Swarga, and then from there they'll go to Vaikuntha. Correct, after they are purified. Okay. Otherwise, if they are Jnana Yogi or Yoga Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, they'll directly go to Vaikuntha and then have Shantarati. All that we discussed. Correct. And who is the giver of the result for these demigod worshippers?
Krishna.
Yeah, which shloka is saying that?
23. Sorry. 22.
Yeah. So giver of the result, Krishna says, then Vitanitan.
Sorry.
Mai eva Vitanitan. Correct. Krishna is saying in 7.22. What is the meaning of that? I only am the giver of their desires, fulfiller of their desires. Correct. So Krishna fulfills, or Lord Vishnu fulfills their desires. And for the Vishnu worshippers, who gives them prema?
Krishna only.
Yeah, so that also is given by Krishna. Okay. And those who are worshipping Vishnu and they are worshipping with the three modes, for them also Krishna only gives or Vishnu only gives the results. So demigods never give two results to anyone. Okay. Any questions on this, what we discussed now?
Prabhuji, can I, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, yes.
Prabhuji, just now you said that demigods never gets give result, but
They give
temporary.
they give after receiving it from Lord Vishnu.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
but we in our ignorance, stay up till to joining ISKCON and coming to philosophy, we used to think that only they give, Lord Shiva gave the result and all that. That is also a form of Maya, although it is Bhakti.
No. So that's what that is the category when the people are worshipping demigods according to their own type of worship they want to do, not based on Shastra. That
Not
is
based on
actually
Shastra.
one more category, fourth category. They are worshipping demigods, but not based on Shastra. They worship demigods, okay, but the category is not recommended or not prescribed, not given in Shastra. That kind of worship process is not given in Shastra. Like somebody may worship Lord Ganesha, but he is playing some music or doing some dance and all these kind of things what we see today. So these are all not given in Shastra. So there is no actual faith. So what is the kind of faith they may have? That is all full tamoguna kind of faith. Okay. And that giver of faith is not actually super soul also. That is like their own whimsical nature. Okay, their own whims. And what they will get results. So it said, yeah, Shastra vidhi mutsrijya vartate kama karata. Correct. So what is the end result? What does the next line say? Yeah, Shastra vidhi mutsrijya, who has given up the Shastra vidhi. And vartate kama karata, their own kama, their own whims. What does it say? There the word comes utpat.
Utpatai.
Utpat eva kalpate means it will create only destruction. Okay, in the society.
So they will not get any material result also, nor any spiritual result also.
No, they will not get any material result, no spiritual result, nothing. Okay, and there is also one worship where the people are not worshiping demigods also, they are worshiping some personalities like Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan. So that is like even more deep ignorance. Okay, so that we are not discussing here. And there is also one worship we discussed, the demigods considering as a limb of Lord Vishnu. So that is also like worshipping Vishnu only, but indirectly. Okay. But it is not recommended for the devotees of Kevala Bhakti to go to that level to worship Vishnu. Like there is an example given in Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see in 5th canto, Bharat Maharaj. Yeah, 5th canto, I think. Yeah. Bharat Maharaj, he is worshipping the limbs of the Vishnu, the respective demigods. He is doing yajna and worshipping them through the Advaryu or the Ritvik, the person who is doing the yajna. But why is he doing it? It's explained by Srila Prabhupada that he is doing it on behalf of the citizens, because all citizens are not pure devotees like Bharat Maharaj. So citizens have different kinds of faith. So for their fulfillment of their kind of faith, he is as a king, as their representative, is doing the yajna, considering the demigods as a limb of Lord Vishnu. That is explained there. Okay. So a devotee may not do for personal benefit, but if he is doing it for somebody else as a king, he may do it. Okay. So that is the understanding. Okay. So then we will go to the 24th shloka now. Okay. Anybody has any question, then you can ask on this. Otherwise, we will go to the next shloka. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Isha Mataji.
Prabhuji, then who are worshipping impersonal form of Lord, then under what category they will come?
Say again, your voice was breaking. Tell again.
The person who are worshipping the impersonal form of Lord, under what category they will come?
Yeah, their category actually, they are not worshipping. That's the next two shlokas is going to come. But it depends which way they are worshipping. If they are Brahmavadis, they are worshipping based on the Shastra, then they have Shastri Shraddha. But if they are Mayavadis, then their worship is again, it is whimsical worship. It's not, it's Swabhavjam kind of. Okay, their own mentality, they are using it and worshipping. That is Mayavad. So Lord Krishna is going to describe next to shloka this Mayavad concept, where people think that Lord's form is Maya. Okay, originally is Brahman and Lord's form is Maya. So that is called whimsical. Okay, so they are not worshipping any Shastric recommendation or Shastric thing. But those who are Brahmavadis, those who worship the impersonal form based on the Shastra, they are Shastri Shraddha. Okay, they will come in the Shastri Shraddha category.
There will be one more type, like atheist. They won't come under any of this table actually. Yes.
No, they came in Duskritinas in 7.15. We were discussing there. Correct. They don't worship any any form of the Lord. Correct. So they are called Duskritinas. Why they don't worship? We discussed because they have no Sukriti. So similarly, here what we discussed this chart. Actually, those who are having Shastri Shraddha, how did they get the Shraddha? What is the reason? How did they get the Shraddha?
From Krishna only.
Yeah, but
Chance,
how did they
chance.
start desiring?
By association of devotees.
Correct. By chance association of devotees.
Chance association.
Yeah. So by that they got the faith, and then they started the worship of Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu made their faith more and more stable. Okay. So now I will show you one shloka. We'll read the purport of this and then go to 7.24. So this is a very famous shloka. Srila Prabhupada quotes it many, many times. So this is Aruhya Krishna Padam Padam Tata Patanti Adha Anadrit Yushmad Angraya. Okay. So it starts with Yanya Arvindaksh Vimuktavanina Vayashta Bhava Vishuddha Buddhaya. This shloka is not on this one. So can somebody find what is the shloka number? Yanya Arvindaksh Vimuktavanina Vayashta Bhava Vishuddha Buddhaya. 10th canto it comes. No, it is not able to search. Okay, now I got 10 to 32. Okay. 10 to 32. So I hope everybody knows this shloka. This is very famous shloka. Prabhupada has quoted this many times. Yanya Arvindaksha Vimuktamanina Tvayashta Bhavad Avishuddha Buddhaya Aruhya Krichrena Param Padam Tatah Patanti Adha Anadrita Yushmad Angraya. Okay. So please read the translation. Okay. Gangaputra, okay, you're trying. Okay. Prasanna Gopal, can you read the translation?
Yes. Yeah. One second. Someone may say that. Just a minute. Some changes. Yeah. Someone may say that aside from devotees who always seek shelter at the Lord's lotus feet, there are those who are not devotees but who have accepted different processes for attaining salvation. What happens to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and other devotees said, "O lotus-side Lord, although non-devotees who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position may think themselves liberated, their intelligence is impure. They fall down from their position of the imaginated superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet."
Yeah, so two types of people are said here. That aside from devotees, so about devotees, it was already discussed. Okay, so they worship the Supreme Lord, they take shelter of his lotus feet. There are others. So that's what Bhagavad Gita is going to describe now, 24 and 25th shloka. Who are they? They are not devotees. What they have accepted? They have accepted different process for attaining salvation only. Their goal is salvation, their goal is moksha. But they accepted another types of process, like the worship of Brahman. Okay. So the question is, what happens to them? In answer to this, Lord Brahma and other demigods are saying, okay, although non-devotees, that means this Brahmavadis or Mayavadis, who have accepted severe austerities, they do, correct? Many times we have heard that they are just meditating and focusing on one point, one light, correct? And eating one carrot one day, like that, all the things they do. And they sit in the winters in the cold water in Gangotri. And in the summer, they burn fire on the four sides and then they have sun on the top. So Pancha Agni they keep and then they sit. So they do many severe austerities. So where did in Bhagavad Gita we read all these austerities, what they perform? In which chapter? Somewhere this came before this in the Bhagavad Gita. Which chapter it came? This performance of these austerities.
6th chapter.
Yes, 6th chapter it came. And what does Arjuna say there? That these are very difficult austerities. I cannot do. Correct? Arjuna is saying what to speak of about us. So they do austerities and penances. For what? Achieving highest position. What is that? Brahman or merging. And they think themselves liberated. Why? Because their intelligence is impure. What is this intelligence impurity referring to? It's referring to they have not come in association of devotees. They have not come in the chance association. They have not got any sukriti from devotees. That's why they don't have that intelligence to surrender to Vishnu. They have not got the favorable impressions from past life. And what happens? They fall down from their position of imagined superiority. Okay. They are not actually achieved that state, but they are imagining. They are Mayavadis. And the Mayavadis will fall because they have no regard for your lotus feet. Why? What is this meaning? They have no regard. So this 7.24 is going to say avyaktam vyaktim apannam. If you read, Prabhupada is translating that unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. So this is what is said here. They have no regard for the lotus feet. They discard the personal form of the Lord. They say it is having no independent existence like that. Okay. So now we are going to read the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti, one part of this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Arun Bro, can you read this part?
There are two types of bhakti practiced as an ang of Gyan. If
Okay,
the
just
Gyan
1 minute. Bro. Just read little before. Yeah. And then we'll come to that. Yes, read from here.
Ashtabhavat means because of lack a stir of affection for the Lord bhava, thinking it to be illusory, as the Lord says in Gita, avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashrita.
Yeah, which shloka is this? Anybody knows? Okay, the same shloka which we are discussing, theme is same. Okay, these foolish persons, they don't know me. Avjananti mam mudha manushim tanumashrita. Having accepted a human form, they think it is temporary. Yes, bro, continue.
Because of such foolishness, they are called avishuddha buddhaya. Though they have purified their hearts, having controlled lust and other material urges, they are not really pure, vishuddha. However, by cultivation of knowledge generated from painful practices such as austerity and sense control, krichrena, they attain liberation, parampadam. It should be understood, however, that even they must have some mixed bhakti, or without that, they cannot attain even liberation in this life.
Yes, yeah. So that's what he said. We discussed also earlier. If there is no element of bhakti mixed, then they will not attain any results. Okay. Yes. Read this.
Without bhakti, the goals of Gyan becomes like mirage. But eventually they fall down. If they have some type of bhakti, then how do they fall down? They fall because they have no respect for your lotus feet. Na datta yushmat angraya. Thinking that they are material.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what they are eventually falling down because they are disrespecting the form of the Lord. Okay, continue.
There are two types of bhakti practiced as an anga of Gyan. The Gyanis practice bhakti a little bit because the scriptures say that without bhakti, Gyan cannot be perfected. Some think of the deity as an illusory form and thus worship with disrespect. Others simply worship without disrespect. The first type that take extreme measures of austerity, and after a long time, when bhakti bestows knowledge which destroys ignorance and brings about Brahma Bhuta stage, it disappears. These people are falsely liberated, Vimukta Manina. They cannot be called Jivan Mukta. According to the Lord's statement, Bhaktya Aham Ekai Grahya, I am attained solely by devotion. Because of not attaining direct association of the Lord due to absence of bhakti and because of presence of offense, the burned up seeds of karma again begin to sprout and they fall into the material world again. An example of this is given in the Vishnu Bhakti Chandodaya concerning Rath Yatra. If a person out of illusion does not follow the Lord during Rath Yatra, though he has burned all his karmas with the fire of knowledge, he will become a Brahma Rakshash. In the Vasan Bhashya, also there is a statement, even a Jivan Mukta, if he offend the Lord, full of inconceivable energies, will fall into the bondage of karma again.
Yes, thank you, bro. So till now, what was discussed? See, there are two types of bhakti practice as Anga of Gyan. Two types are there. First type is said, the Jnani practices bhakti a little bit. Little bhakti is there. That means more is what?
Jnana.
Jnana, surely. He is Jnani, na? He is called Jnani for what? Because he is having more Jnana. But little bit bhakti is there. And then what also he does? He simply worships without disrespect. He has full disrespect explained here. Correct. And then finally it is said that he will again come to karma. Okay, now read the second type.
The bhakti of the second type of Jnani brings about Brahma Bhuta, and though extinguishing both knowledge and ignorance does not disappear, it then brings about a direct realization of God. That type of Jnani attains the status of Jivan Mukta. The Gita describes such a person Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Bhaktya Mama Vijanati Yavanyash Chashmi Tattvata.
Yes, bro, thank you.
But
so, yeah, this is that is Jiva Goswami. Next, okay. So this is what Vishwanath Thakur is saying. Second type of Jnani, okay, what he does, he also extinguishes both knowledge and ignorance, but it does not disappear. This is not like first type. It then brings about a direct realization of God. He worships the personal form. He doesn't disrespect. He doesn't think that, oh, that form of the Lord is Maya. No, this is called Brahmavadi. And that type of Jnani attains the status of Jivan Mukta and he does not fall down. Okay, so whenever Prabhupada talks about the person falling down from Brahman, he is talking about which person? This first type of Jnani. Okay, who disrespect the form. But this type of person who doesn't disrespect, he is described in Gita as Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. This is one verse. Another verse is Bhaktya Mam Avijanati. This Jnani only we discussed in this chapter, who is called Pradhanibhut Bhakta. He has majority of bhakti in his practice, this person. And a small amount of jnana is there. But what was about the first person? More amount of jnana and small bhakti, and that too, it was disrespectful. Okay, so see here, jnana is practiced a little bhakti. Correct, that was the first type. Because the scripture say without bhakti, jnana cannot be perfected. So for that reason, they accepted little bhakti. And something of the deity as illusory form, they think, and worship with disrespect. And then what happens? They fall down. But the second type is called Brahmavadi, who does not fall down. He merges with the Brahman and he never returns. Okay, but first type will fall down. That is the difference. Okay. Any question on this, what we discussed? Okay. So if there are no questions, then we'll go to the 7th chapter, 24th verse. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananto mam avyam anuttamam. Okay, Isha Mataji, can you read the translation? Hare Krishna. Okay, somebody else. Bhakti Leela Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, bro. Translation 7.24. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme.
Correct. So they don't know higher nature and they think it is to be, okay. They think that it is a personality assumed from the impersonal thing. Correct. What is the shloka? Avyaktam vyaktim apannam. Apannam is achieved, attained. From where? From avyaktam, vyaktam has been attained. They think like that. Manyante. They think. About whom? Mam. Lord Krishna is saying about himself. And what is this category of people again? Abuddhaya. So what does Prabhupada translate it as? Abuddhaya? Less intelligent. Okay. So this same word Alpamedasa was used for demigod worshipper. And same thing is used for this. These are called less intelligent people. Okay. So Param Bhavam Ajananto means they don't know Ajananto. What they don't know? Param Bhavam, the supreme existence of whom? About the Lord, Mam. Mama Avyayam Anuttamam. So Lord is saying about himself. What? That his form is like two adjectives he is giving here. Imperishable, Avyayam, and Anuttamam, the highest or the finest. Okay, there is nothing higher than. Uttama means highest. Anuttamam is the supreme highest, like that. Okay. So here again, so Lord is describing about 24 and 25. These two shlokas about the impersonalist, and especially which impersonalist? This is about Mayavadi. Okay. So the unintelligent men think the Lord's form to be temporary. Okay, that will be cleared in the purport. Okay. Yes, Mataji, please read Vishnu Chadapa's commentary.
What to speak of the worshippers of the Devata being foolish and not recognizing me? Even those who study all the scripture, such as the Vedas, do not know the truth about me.
Yeah. So two types of people are said. First was the worshipper of Devatas, which we discussed from 20 to 23. And then this is second type, which Lord Shri Krishna is telling. Okay, they are studying all the Vedas, but they do not know the truth about me. Okay, they are impersonalists. So why they are not able to know the truth about the Lord? What is the reason? Because they have not got the association of devotees. Okay, they don't have any sukriti by the association of devotees. So because they don't have sukriti, they don't have faith in the form of Lord. They have not met those persons, those who worship the form. Okay. Yes, Mataji, continue.
Thus, apart from my devotees, everyone else is foolish regarding knowledge of me. With this intention, he speaks this verse. The unintelligent think that the formless Brahman beyond the material world, avyaktim, has taken birth as myself in the house of Vasudev, Vyaktim, with an illusory form. What is now visible is just an illusory form. This
Yeah.
is because they do not know my transcendental state. They do not know that my form, birth, activities, and pastimes are beyond Maya. Mama Param Bhavam. Type of state is this. It is eternal avayam and the most excellent anuttamam.
Yeah. So this third line, it is describing which part of the verse that is not told. So can somebody identify? This is because they do not know my transcendental state. So what is this saying about? They are not knowing. Where is that word used in the shloka? Yes, Gangaputru, can you tell which word, which part of the shloka is this?
Prabhuji, can you just screen that verse because I don't have Bhagavad right now. Is it possible, Prabhuji? Otherwise, I can.
Okay, somebody else can tell. Yes, Deepali Mataji.
Ajanata.
Yeah, correct. So they are saying ajananto, param bhavam ajananto. Okay, so they are unaware. Okay. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
How worthless are those who worship devatas instead of me? They have no intelligence because through knowing the Upanishad, they have no devotion to me, and consequently, they will never understand my true nature. People devoid of understanding my true nature, Abuddhaya, consider that I, being not perceptible to the sense, since I am Atma, which is revealed only by Atma, have attained a material form by which I am visible to the senses. They say that I have been born in Devaki with a material body through Vasudev by Satvika karma, like any king's son, because they do not know my supreme nature, Bhava, which is eternal and incomparable due to lack association with devotees who know about me.
This is the point actually I was saying. So they are lacking association with devotees. This is what Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying. Okay, so those who know about me, this me is what? Personal form. So those devotees who know the personal form of the Lord, when they associate with these type of devotees by chance association, then they will also get faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the person. Otherwise, how much ever they study, what is said here? So though knowing the Upanishads, they have no devotion to me. So knowledge will not become devotion automatically. Okay. So until unless there is a association of devotees, okay, then the knowledge can transform into devotion through the path of association of devotees. Okay, so that is what is said here. Lack of association is the reason they are not having bhakti. Yes, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yes, Mataji.
Those who are worshipper of demigods have been described as less intelligent person, and here the impersonalists are similarly described. Lord Krishna in his personal form is here speaking before Arjuna, and still Due to ignorance, impersonalists argue that the Supreme Lord ultimately has no form.
Krishna is standing in front of Arjuna. These people are seeing, but still they say they have no form. Or even if he has form, it is made up of Maya. Or it is temporary, it is illusory. Yeah, continue.
In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the personality of Godhead cannot be understood simply by the study of the Vedanta literature. Only by the mercy of Supreme Lord can the personality of the Supreme be known. Therefore, in this verse, it is clearly stated that not only are the worshipper of the demigods less intelligent, but those non-devotee who are engaged in Vedanta and speculation on the Vedic literature without any tinge of true Krishna consciousness are also less intelligent. And for them, it is not possible to understand God's personal nature.
Yeah, so this is what knowledge cannot become devotion. That is what Prabhupada is describing here. By study of all this Vedanta speculation, any tinge of true Krishna consciousness. So they don't have that tinge. Without any tinge of true Krishna consciousness. Means what? That association of devotee is not there. So they are also considered less intelligent. And that same thing is told here. Only by the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is this mercy? This mercy is by the association of devotee. That mercy comes through that channel. But otherwise, Lord will not directly come and give them mercy. Yes, Mataji, please read this.
The fact is that no one can understand Krishna without rendering devotional service and without developing Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so how will a person render devotional service? Again, until unless he gets the Sukriti to perform, to get the Shraddha, he will not get faith. And if he doesn't have faith, he will not do the Seva. So that's why in the stages of Bhakti, it is said that there is Shraddha and that gives rise to Mahat Seva. In the 14 stages, you can read in the first canto, second chapter. Okay, so yes, Mataji, please read this. But this purport is very big. I've taken only some part. You can read completely. Yes, Mataji.
We cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be impersonal. The imposition theory of the impersonalist monist is false as far as the statement of the Gita are concerned. It is clear herein that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Krishna, has both form and personality.
Yes, so Prabhupada quotes from this Bhagavad Gita, as he told before, that Lord Krishna is himself standing. So these people are saying impersonal, that is not understandable. Okay, it has been proved like that, Lord Srila Prabhupada is saying. So he has both form and personality, which are not illusory. Okay, they are real. And then one more shloka about this, he will tell. Yeah, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavritaha Mudho Ayam Nabhijananti Loko Mam Ajam Avyayam. Okay. Madhav Harinam bro, are you available? You can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Nice, brother.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation.
Yeah.
I never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by internal potency. And therefore, they do not know that I am unborn and infallible.
Correct. So, what is being said here? Naham, na aham. I don't. Prakasha sarvasya. All people. Prakasha means to be visible, manifest, like that. Why it doesn't manifest? Yoga Maya Samavrita. Yoga Maya means internal potency. Avrita means covered. Samavrita means Samyak Avrita, completely covered, like that. He is completely covered by his Yoga Maya potency. And then what happens? Those who are foolish, mudho, I am this, they don't know. Na abhijanati. Abhijananti means it is knowing something. Na abhijanati means he cannot understand, he cannot know me. No. And loko mam ajam avyayam. So these people who are there in this world, they cannot know this. Why? Because they are covered. They are covered by Mahamaya and Lord is covered by Yogamaya. That will come in the purport. So Lord is saying, I am covered by Yogamaya. But these people are covered by Mahamaya. They cannot see. So Mam Ajam, Avyayam. Again, two adjectives are used. Previous verse also two things were used. Okay, what are the two things there in the past shloka? He says Mama Avyayam Anuttamam. Correct. Imperishable and the supreme or most excellent or finest, like that he was saying. Now he says, Mam Ajam Avyayam, I am unborn, I am inexhaustible. Correct. So like that. So the meaning here is that so the Lord is not manifest to these foolish and unintelligent. So who are these people? These foolish and unintelligent people whom the Lord is saying? What is being described now till now before this?
Impersonalist, Prabhuji, and also demigod worshipper.
These two, yeah.
Im-
Both demigod
Pers-
worship. Yeah. And which kind of impersonalist? Not Brahmavadi, Mayavadi.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Those were Mayavadi. Demigod worshipper and impersonals. Those are Mayavadi. So Brahmavadi, as we saw in the purport of Vishwanath Thakur, that they worship the supreme form of the God, but they are attracted to Brahman. So this is not talking about them. For them, the shloka is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. That shloka. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, please read the purport. Vishwanath Thakur. Madharinam.
Yeah. If you have eternal form, qualities, and pastimes, then why do we not see these things at all
Yeah,
times?
so this is a question. So who is questioning this? Is questioning from the opposing party. So Vishwanath Thakur writes the commentaries in this way. Okay, so answer will come here. That Lord will answer from here. Yes, please continue.
I am not manifest to all people living at all times and places.
Yes, so this is referring to what? Can somebody identify? What is referring to? I am not manifest to all people at all times and places. Which part of the shloka is saying this?
Naham prakasa sarvasya.
Yes, Naham Prakasa Sarvasya. So these all people Loka or Sarvasya, like that. This is okay. Na Prakasha. Yes, please continue.
I am always present with my associates, qualities, and pastimes in some universe at some time, but just as the sun is not visible to all people at all the times, but only sometimes, since it gets covered by Mount Meru, I am also not visible at all times, being covered by Yogamaya.
So Lord is covered by Yogamaya, so he is not visible at all times to all people. Okay, so example is given. What is the example given? Is the sun covered by Mount Meru. Okay, so the Mount Meru is a very big mountain, which is the inverted cone, and then sun revolves around it. Okay, sun revolves around it, and then there is Bhumandala below. So when sun is revolving around it, so the person who is standing here, he cannot see the sun. Okay, sun is here. So you cannot see the sun. So that is the analogy given. So the person who is behind the Mount Meru cannot see the sun, but the sun is existing always. Yes. Yeah, continue, Praj.
In the same way, within Krishna's effulgent abodes, Yogamaya is always present like Meru. Krishna, like the sun, covered by that Meru in the form of Yogamaya, is not visible constantly, but only sometimes.
Yeah. So Krishna is always present. Krishna, like the sun, is always present, but is covered by that mountain in the form of Yogamaya. So that mountain is compared to the Yogamaya. Okay. This is like Yogamaya, which covers the sun. Yes, please continue.
As well, the foolish people do not understand that I, in my form as Syama Sundara, although appearing as Vasudeva's son Azam, am free from material birth, Azam Abhyayam. Thus, finally rejecting me, the ocean of auspicious qualities, they worship my impersonal aspect, Brahman.
Yeah. So they have rejected the personal form. They worship the impersonal form. Yeah.
It may
Yes,
be
yes.
argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone?
Prabhupada is asking this question. Yeah, he'll answer. Yes, please.
But actually, he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah.
The Pandavas and a few others knew that he was the Supreme, but not everyone. He was not revealed to the non-devotees and common men.
So these are few people. Pandavas, Mother Kunti, all those who are devotees, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Correct. Only by Bhakti one can know. Correct. So those who are devotees, who are practitioners of Bhakti Yoga, they only knew. Otherwise, Shishupala and other people, they did not know. Even Duryodhana told to arrest Krishna, but they did not know him. Yes, Prabhuji.
He was manifest only to his devotees as the reservoir of all pleasure. But to others, to unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his internal potency.
Yeah, so that's what example is given. So there is like a curtain or a glass. You might have seen that sometimes when we are going in the car, from inside we can see the outside thing. But from outside, people who cannot see inside. Correct. So that will become more clear in the next shloka. Mohitam nabi ajanati. He will say Vedam samtitani. So I know everything, but others are ichha dvesha mohena, samuttena, dvanda mohena. They are covered by dvanda. They are covered by the external energy, Mahamaya. So they cannot see me. It's like glass. Okay, from where? From inside the car, the person can see outside, but from the outside, the person cannot see inside. Okay, so the Lord is situated here and the living entity is here. So living entity cannot see the Lord, but the Lord is able to see. Or you might have seen sometimes in the night when the light is there inside the house, the person can see from outside the house, inside, if the bulb is light and inside the house. But the inside person cannot see who is standing outside because it is night. So similarly, the Lord is situated everywhere outside, and then the living entity seated inside the house. Lord is able to see, but living entity cannot see. So that example is being said. So Lord is having the curtain of Maya. Okay. So on the living entity side, it is like Mahamaya. That is covering the living entity, Moha, Dvanda, all that. But on the side of Lord, this Maya is the internal potency, Chit Shakti or Yoga Maya. Okay. So here it is Yoga Maya, here it is Mahamaya. Okay. So living entity is not covered by Yoga Maya. Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is not only unborn but also abhyaya, inexhaustible. His eternal form is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are all inexhaustible.
Yes. So this was the last point. Ajam, Avyayam. Okay. Yes. So this section we completed about the impersonalists worshipping, basically Mayavad. Anybody has any question on this? What we discussed? Okay. This was clear only. Okay. So now Lord is saying, okay, so foolish people, they don't know me. Demigod worshippers also don't know me. They worship the demigods. And then there are impersonalists. They also don't know me. They are worshipping the illusory. They think me to be illusory. Form is illusory. They worship the Brahman. But ultimately, they don't get any results. So Lord is saying now, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Okay, somebody can read. Harshit Prabhu, would you like to read? If you are available today.
Yes,
Not
I can read pretty now.
Harsh Prabhu, not audible.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of God, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all the things. I also know all living entities, but me.
Your voice is very low volume. I don't know. I am feeling like that. If you have a headphone, maybe you can use or speak little loudly. Yeah,
O
speak.
Arjuna, Personality of Godhead. I know everything that has happened in the past and is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living enemies. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So yeah, again, Lord Krishna is saying here that Veda aham samtitani. Veda means to know. Aham, I. Sam atitani. Atitani is past. Correct. Atita, that which has already happened. Vartamanani, that is present. Correct. And Bhavishyani, all that which is going to happen in future. So all these three, what is Lord saying? Veda. Aham, I know. And what else? Cha and Bhutani Mam tu Vedana Kashana. But the Bhutani, the living entities, na Veda. They don't know. About whom? Mam. About the Lord, they don't know. So here Lord is saying, I know everything, but the living entity don't know me. Okay, that is this shloka. Yes, please read the commentary by Vishnu Thakur.
But my own knowledge is not covered by external Maya or the internal Yog Maya, since I cannot be bewildered by that to which I give shelter. I know everything, but no one, whether material or spiritual, not even Shiva or the most omniscient person, knows me completely, since knowledge of me is covered by either Maya or Yog Maya, according to the.
Okay, here there is a word which is missing, according to the qualification actually. Now it got deleted. According to the qualification. Yeah, so what is Lord saying in this first line? Very important. See what he's saying. My knowledge, he explaining the verse. Vedam Samtitani. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. My knowledge is not covered by external Maya. That's what I told earlier, Mahamaya. So Mahamaya is not covering Lord. What was covering the Lord? Yog Maya. Or the internal energy, Yog Maya. Okay, means this is in the sense that living entity cannot see. Okay, since I cannot be bewildered by that to which I give shelter. So he is covered in the sense that he can control it. He is covered by Yog Maya, but he is a controller of the Yog Maya. One should not think that Lord is being covered and controlled, both. So that's why we have to understand in this context. I cannot be bewildered by that which I give shelter. So either Yog Maya or Mahamaya, both are sheltered by Lord. In that context, he is saying, I know everything. Vedam Samtitani. Okay. And then he gives example. Who are the people who don't know? Shiva. He is very, very great personality. He is not able to know. Like Brahma, he also does not know. Okay. Completely. They know something, but they don't know him completely. Since knowledge of me is covered by either Maya, Mahamaya or Yog Maya. So for whom it is covered by Maya? Those who are the living entities under 3 modes. So they are covered by the Mahamaya. And others are covered by Yog Maya. Who? Those who are the living entities in spiritual world. They also don't know that he is the Lord. They are covered by Yog Maya. Mother Yashoda, she sees the universal form. She sees the universe in the mouth of Krishna, but she forgets it. Why? Because she is covered by Yog Maya, by Lord's Yog Maya. So he doesn't allow that Yog Maya to get uncovered and for her to realize that he is the Supreme Lord. Yes, Prabhuji, continue.
Here the question of personality and
Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yeah, please read.
If Krishna, the form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were Maya, material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and
Prabhuji, your voice is not very clearly audible. It's a very faint voice. Are others able to hear clearly?
Not able.
Okay, maybe you can use earphone, or for that time maybe somebody else can read.
Again,
Oh yes, please.
here the question of personality. Here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Krishna, the form of supreme personality of Godhead, where Maya, material as the impersonalist considers him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life.
Yeah, read last thing.
Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future.
Yeah, so this is Prabhupada saying that the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. So he's going to prove that Lord is actually a person in this shloka. So how he is saying, if Krishna, the form of the supreme personality, both words are used, form and personality, where Maya, like the impersonalists or the Mayavadis actually, the Mayavadis think Maya or material, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Correct? Living entity takes rebirth. And in the next birth, does anyone of remember what happened in the past life? We may not remember. Correct? So very, very few living entities may remember what happened in the past life. But generally nobody remembers. But Lord is saying what? Veda aham samatitani. Vartamanani cha Arjuna. Bhavishyani cha bhutani. He all three tense he is saying. Past, present, future. All three he knows. That means Prabhupada is concluding from here that he is not like us, normal living entity. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, continue.
He is just like the sun, and Maya is like a cloud.
Yeah, another example now
material
Prabhupada is giving. There is cloud and there is sun behind the cloud. Yeah. Yeah, read.
In the material world, we can see that there is the sun, and that there are the clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The sun, moon, and the stars are not actually covered. Similarly, Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency, he is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men.
Yeah, so that's what he said. Sun is independent. Sun is independent. And cloud is compared to Maya here. So sun is never covered by the cloud of Maya. But for the living entity who is standing here, he cannot see the sun because of the Maya, which is covering his eyes. Like that. That's what analogy he has given. Okay, so sun, moon, and stars are not actually covered. Means what? So Lord is controller of the Maya. That's what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also said. Correct. He is the controller of the Maya. He is not controlled by it. Yes, Prabhuji, continue.
Even if one is perfect by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, without being a Krishna conscious.
Yeah, same thing. Earlier also it was told, until unless one is having that faith or the Sukriti, one cannot understand the Lord as personality. Okay, that Sukriti is not there to understand. Okay. Okay, any question on this? What we discussed, 26th shloka? Okay, we will go on. Yeah, Mother Harinam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
One question, was it used to come before also, that if Lord knows everything of future, does he know then what is the use of this all this event that is going to happen, because he already knows. Then does he knows that how we will return back home, or what is the what will happen, uh, or we have learned that everything happens according to our desires. So when our desire change, then future will also change. So does he know that how this living entity desire will also change?
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually a good question. We, as we discussed earlier, living entity is a desirer. He is desiring doer. Correct. He desires. That is his part. And then the Lord is considered as the sanctioning doer. He sanctions. Correct. And then who does it actually is material nature or Prakriti on behalf of the Supreme Lord. She does it. She performs the activity. Okay, performing doer. She is the personality. So living entity's part was there only desiring. Kartam iti manyate, so that person thinks that I am doer, but actually he is not. So this is understood that these three play their own roles. So now your question is, Lord is whether he knows what desires the living entity is going to have. Correct. Vedam samtitani vartamana Arjuna bhavishyani. Also, does he know? That is the question. Yeah. So yeah, that's what. Here it is understood that living entity desires that create some karma for him. It may be good, it may be bad. Okay. He may get pious results, or he may get, it may be pious, it may be impious. Okay. So in each case, there is going to be some result. So what is understanding here is that this result which is awarded by the Lord, by the law of karma, that is fixed. So Lord may not exactly tell that what is the living entity going to desire, because he is having free will. Na? That free will is given to the living entity, what he wants to desire, whether he wants to do pious activity, or he wants to do impious activity, or he wants to do devotional service. That also he can choose. So this choice is given to the living entity, and based on his choice, the result will be awarded. So Lord knows that living entity is going to make some choice, based on his choice, what result is going to come, that he knows. But he may not exactly tell us that what he is living entity is going to desire. Is that okay, bro? So Lord knows the consequences of our action. Okay. The activity. The consequences of our activity, whatever karma we are doing, what is the consequence of that, that he will know. Like any doctor can tell somebody smoking cigarette that the result will be some disease. Okay. So, but the doctor cannot tell whether a living entity will smoke cigarette or not.
Yes,
okay.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So this is the understanding. Okay. If this is understood, then little higher principle I can tell you is that there is something called Achintya Shakti of the Lord. What this Shakti does, like Prabhupada gives many examples, we don't know how our fingers, nails are growing, how the hair is growing, many things Achintya Shakti, he says, how this universe is working. These are all Achintya for living entity. So this Achintya Shakti, one of the understanding is Lord knows the desire of living entity. But still, living entity has free will. This statement is difficult to understand. Can you read this, Prabhu?
Yeah.
What is, read it?
Lord knows the desire of living entity due to Achintya Shakti, but still he has free will.
Still the living entity has free will. This is under which Shakti? Achintya Shakti. How this is happening? We cannot understand. Like Prabhupada told the example, can God, somebody asked, oh, can God make a square circle, or can God make a stone which he cannot lift? What did Prabhupada give answer? You must know, Prabhuji. Correct, na? Can you tell?
Yeah.
What did Prabhupada answer?
Yeah, he will create, first of all, he will create.
Yeah.
Then again he can lift up also.
Lift it. Correct. So Prabhupada said, yeah, as Lord Shri Krishna, he will create the stone. As Lord Balram, he will lift it. Like that. So that is called Achintya Shakti. We cannot understand how the Lord will do it. We cannot understand how the Lord will make a square circle. Because our brain is working in this 3 dimension. We cannot understand only how it is possible. But when we understand the Achintya Shakti working, we can understand Lord knows the desire of each living entity. In the future also what the living entity is going to desire. But still, the living entity has free will. He has the desire, he has the choice to make. And Lord is knowing also what choice he is going to make. Okay, so this was the first level of answer. This second. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else has question? Yeah. Harsh, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Harsh, yes, Prabhuji, just 1 minute. Harsh Prabhu is asking some question.
Okay.
Prabhuji, in the last part of this translation, Krishna says that, but me no one knows. And in other shloka, Krishna says that, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. So, Prabhuji, how to understand these 2 things? Because means Krishna means that no one can know me completely, or only a devotee can know. How to understand?
Yeah, so devotee can know to the extent Lord reveals him. Okay, so Lord will reveal to what extent to a certain devotee, to that extent he will know. But he will know whatever is required for him to know. That way we have to understand. Okay. Yes. Okay. Prashna Gopal Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, just a small doubt regarding that incarnation examples. We given device and all that lady Shukla, and then there is one video also for aircraft, the soldier who remembers everything in the childhood only. So there are like so many examples in internet also, we who remembers past lives. So how this and we understand that very few people and some people only remembers, fortunate people only remembers, like in Shastra also, Bharat Maharaj only can remember because he has that stage. So the how like what kind of remembers, on what basis they can remember the past life? Is it a impressions of the subtle senses, few subtle senses, or how is it, like what is the explanation for that?
Yeah. See, that is not the topic of our discussion. Yeah. So I'll answer in short. Actually, Lord generally Lord will not give the past life remembrance, because whatever we remember in this life, that is only difficult to go on with in this life. Whatever difficulty we have in this life. So if Lord gives remembrance of past life, we cannot practice our bhakti also nicely. And even if one is not devotee, he cannot live his life properly. He will always keep remembering how I died in last life, how I died in that life. So Lord gives the forgetfulness. So Lord knows the best what forgetfulness to give, so that the person can come to him if he is practicing bhakti. Okay, that is the answer in short. And there are some exceptions who are called this INST Vention has done some researches. 2000-3000 cases are there. Okay, that is called Jati Smartas. Okay, so who are remembering their past life, but on what basis they remember, I don't know. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's go to the 27th shloka. Okay, so this is a section, bewilderment and freedom by knowing Krishna. Iksha dvesh samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Okay, somebody can read the translation. Okay. Nagnijiti Mataji, are you available? Can you read? Yeah. Anuradha Mataji, can you read?
Yes, translation. For Sion or Bharata, who conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate.
Yeah. Yeah. So now Lord Shri Krishna is saying about that previous shloka. He said that me nobody knows. So why they don't know? Here is the answer. Ichha dvesha samuthena. So two things are there: desire and hate. Ichha and dvesha. Okay. So something is arising from that. Okay. Dvanda mohena. So again, Prabhupada is translating this as the duality by the illusion. Mohena. Okay. So he's addressing to Arjuna, Bharata, Sarva Bhutani. So earlier also this word was used, Lokaha or Sarva was used, that all the living entities. What? Moham. Earlier it was used, now here he is using some Moham. Correct. Earlier it was said in previous shlokas, Mohitam na abhijanati. Correct. Now he is saying Sarva Bhutani Sammoham. And that Prabhupada is translated as delusion. Okay. Sarge. That is from the time of creation. Or Prabhupada is translated as while taking birth. Both the meanings are there. Sarge Yanti Parantapa. Again, he is addressing to Arjuna. Okay. So, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion. Okay. Sarva Bhutani Sammoham. Bewildered by dualities, Dvanda Mohena, arisen from Ichha Dvesha. Okay. So here the shloka is going like this. Sarva Bhutani Sammoham. All the living entities are born into delusion. And then he goes back, bewildered by dualities. Dvanda Mohena Bharata. And why that bewilderment has come? Because of Ichha Dvesha, which are arising from Ichha and Dvesha. Okay. Or bewildered. Okay. So earlier we discussed 5 things. First was avidya. Then there was asmita. 5 layers of ignorance, basically. Anybody remembers what we discussed ahead? Avidya, asmita, 5 layers. While discussing the example of the rat and the Pavlov's experiment, it was there inside the rat cage. So we discussed avidya, asmita.
Raga, Dvesh, and Abhinivesh.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Raga, Dvesha, and Abhinivesh. So what we discussed there, that avidya is ignorance, which is there since time immemorial. Asmita is to think that I am this body. Asmita. Asmi means myself. I'm this body, or Prabhupada says I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm cat, I'm dog. So whatever animals may be thinking. And because of that thought, he has 2 things, raga and dvesha. Okay, so whatever he has got impressions from past lives. So if they are good impressions, then he thinks that, oh, if I eat this gulab jamun or if I do this, then I will get enjoyment. He knows that raga is there. He knows what I can enjoy, what I cannot. And dvesha. He has certain things which he has got impressions in past life, which are bad, which have given him misery, or in this life also. We have got so many impressions which people are there who may not have given good experience to us. So we are having fear to go near them again. We try to avoid them as much as possible. And those who give us happiness, we try to go near them as much as possible. Objects, people, anything. But this has been happening from many, many lives. So all that is stored where? In the chitta, in the consciousness. So there are many, many impressions. which are stored in Chitta as called Vasana. They are stored there. So there are good and there are bad. So good, which have given us happiness, they are called Raga, and which have given us misery, they are called Dvesha. We are avoiding it. And Abhinivesh is what? Absorption into either Roga or Raga or Dvesha. Raga Abhinivesh or Dvesha Abhinivesh. Absorption. Absorption in what? Like the rat was absorbed. He was going on both the sides. Here also he was getting shock, and here also he was getting shock. And he was also absorbed when he was eating cake on both the sides. So Raga, one side there was cake, he was eating, one side there was shock. So he was not going that side. So one is Raga, one is Dvesh. And he was going back and forth, but he never saw the door was open. So Abhinivesh is absorption into Raga and Dvesh. Absorption in Raga and Dvesh. Okay. So these are the understandings of these 5 terms. So 2 terms are here used here, Ichha and Dvesh. This Ichha is same as Raga. And Dvesh is Dvesh. And from Dvanda and Moha, they are arising from the duality. What is the duality? Happiness, distress. Happiness, distress. So from that, Ichha and Dvesh is arising. Okay. Yes. So let's read from Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary. Yes, Mataji, please read.
When do the jivas become bewildered by your Maya?
So again, this question is asked. Yes, answer will give.
At the beginning of the creation of this universe, Sarge, all the jivas, Sarva Bhutani, become bewildered. How? Desire for objects favorable to the senses and hatred for things which obstruct the pleasure of the senses, arising from previous actions, give rise to illusion of duality, of respect and disrespect, hot and cold, happiness and distress, and women and man. A person thinks, I am happy being respected, I am sad being disrespected. This is my wife, this is my husband. This duality gives rise to complete ignorance, moha. That in turn gives rise to complete bewilderment, sanmoham, extreme attachment to wife and son.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So yeah, here same thing is being explained. So from the beginning of creation, as Prabhupada says, time immemorial, the universe, whenever it started, all the jivas have become bewildered. Okay. And then he says, desire for objects favorable to the senses. What is this desire for objects favorable? What is this we discussed now?
Ichha, Prabhuji?
Yes, this is Ichha. Yeah, and then there is hatred for things which obstruct the pleasure. So that is again Dvesha.
Dvesha.
Correct. So this Iksha and Dvesha are said here. And then they are arising from previous actions. Okay. Give rise to illusion of duality. So this illusion of duality is what? What is the word used in the purport, in the shloka? Dvanda Mohena.
Bewilderment.
Dvanda Mohena is the word used. Sorry, Dvanda is duality, Mohena illusion. Okay. So what are the previous actions that was told? Respect and disrespect, hot and cold, happiness and distress, man, woman, all that kind of things are there. And then person thinks based on his whatever the past life impressions have come into his chitta, okay, which is stored as his vasana. So based on that stored vasana, he sees what is good, what is bad. So that is called Ichha and Dvesha. Okay, he does desire something and he hates something. And then based on that, he thinks, I am happy being respected. He likes respect. He's like, he desires it now, Ichha. And I am sad being disrespected. This is my wife, this is my husband, like that. Okay. So this is part of Asmita. Correct. And this duality gives rise to complete ignorance. Moha. This is like avidya. His avidya is reinforced. And in terms, gives rise to complete bewilderment, sammoha, extreme attachment. Okay. That is abhinivesh. Okay. Rag abhinivesh, dvesh abhinivesh. This is good, this is bad. Like that. Yes, Praji. Mataji, you are reading here.
Shall I continue?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Those who are extremely attached are not qualified for devotion to me. I will explain this to Uddhava. Then, if somehow or other, by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, such a person, being neither very disgusted with nor attached to material life, should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion to me.
Yeah, now Lord is saying, okay, who can attain devotion? Okay, who can become devotee? So we have understood till now that, yeah, those who attain Sukriti, they can become devotee by association of devotees. Okay, but not everybody who comes in touch with devotees also become devotees. Like Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada came in touch with many people, but not everybody became devotees. Correct. So here it is said. Okay, somebody need to mute. So two things are mentioned. If somehow or other by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting. This is first thing. This faith will come from Sukriti of past life. When he has sufficient Sukriti, he will get faith. And then second thing is saying, being neither very disgusted nor attached to material life. If he is too much disgusted, then he will take up to path of jnana. If he is too much attached, he will take to the path of karma. Okay, he will want to go to Swarga. And he will want to go to Brahman here. So these two categories are mentioned. First, that person should have faith. Second, he should neither be too attached nor too detached. Then that person can take up to bhakti. Okay, and faith part comes from Sukriti of past life by association of devotee. Okay, like that. But there are also extreme examples, like there are Jagai Madai, who were too much having attachment, still they could take up to bhakti. There are many hippies. So the first one is more important, having Sukriti of past lives by association of devotees. Okay. Okay, yes, Mati.
When one is deluded,
yeah.
When one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, he becomes controlled by the illusory energy and cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The illusory energy is manifested in the duality of desire and hate. Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord and envies Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God.
Yeah.
So, pure devotees who are not deluded or contaminated by desire and hate can understand that Lord Sri Krishna appears by his internal potencies, but those who are deluded by duality and nescience think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is created by material energies. This is their misfortune. Such deluded person symptomatically dwell in dualities of dishonor and honor, misery and happiness, woman and man, good and bad, pleasure and pain, etc. Thinking, this is my wife, this is my house, I am the master of this house, I am the husband of this wife. These are the dualities of delusion. Those who are so deluded by dualities are completely foolish and therefore cannot understand the Supreme Personality of God.
Yeah, so two types of people he is saying. One is the pure devotees, And there are other people who are the materialistic people, who are deluded by Maya. Mohitam na abhijanati, or sarva bhutani sammoham, that category here. Pure devotees are not deluded, clearly it is said. They are not or contaminated by desire of hate and icha and dvesha. Yeah. And they understand that the Lord Krishna appears by the internal potencies. The devotees know that Lord Janma Karma Chame Divyam. They know that. Okay. But also who are those, the second category, who are deluded by duality and essence, think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is created by material energies. This is their misfortune. So this is who? This is Mayavadi, which was explained in 24th, 25th verses. Okay. Yeah, and then he says that okay, those who are deluded, they think like this. This is my wife, this is my house, I am master of this house, and all these things. But devotees don't think like this. Devotees think this is Krishna's house, and I have certain husband or wife which is given by Krishna for me to do my bhakti and also help them in their bhakti, like that. Okay, so devotees don't think, they're absorbed into the relationships of family. Okay. Yes, so we completed this. So next we'll take 28, 29, 30 and start the 8th chapter next week, because 28th is very, very important shloka. Many devotees may not understand the right understanding of that verse. So we'll take that in the next time. 29, 30 is very, very simple. Okay. So here, one more thing I wanted to highlight. Just I'll take 2 more minutes. Yeah. So there is, earlier this question also came about how devotees, when they are in family. So many times somebody may think, oh, Grihastha means it's like we are in Maya, and those who are staying in temple are like always Krishna conscious. All that things came. And here also there is a point that how those are deluded persons, they think like this. But what do devotees think? Or how we should understand that those who are Grihasthas, they are not like people in Maya. Okay. So that is wrong understanding. So I'm going to show one verse. Okay. So this is 10th canto again. Okay. This is saying Tavad Raga Dastena Tavad Kara Griham Griham. Okay. So you can search that verse and show you. Okay. Okay. Yes, Prerna Mataji, can you read this translation? We will recite the shloka once. Tavad Raga Dastena Tavad Kara Griham Griham Tavad Mohi Moho Angri Nigado Yavat Krishna na Tejana. This is 10, 14, 36 Brahmaji's prayers. Yes, Mataji, please read.
My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desire remain thieves. Their homes remain prison, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles.
Yeah, so very clearly it is said, until people become your devotees. So what is said? Tavat raga daya stena. Stena means thief. What all? Rag, the word which we saw in the today's verse. Raga adaya. Adaya means what? Etc. Like icha, dvesha, all that. What we saw today. So raga, adaya, material attachment, and so on. They all will become stena, thieves. And what else? Tavad kara griham griham. Griham is house. Their houses will be like what? Kara griham means the jail, prison. Okay. And Tavad moho angri nigado. Angri nigado is foot shackles. Okay. What will become their foot shackles? Moha, the bewilderment of family affection. Till when? Yavat Krishna natejana. When, until, unless they have become the devotees. Tejana, your devotees, your people. Okay. So very clearly Prabhupada is, Brahmaji is saying here, and Prabhupada is translating, my dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, these things will happen. 3 things are said. What? Material desires, material attachments, will remain thieves, homes remain prison, and affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. Otherwise, if they are devotees, they have understood that these all things are in relationship with Krishna consciousness, then they are not thieves, they are not prisons, houses are not prisons, and the family members' affectionate feelings for them are not full foot shackles for the devotees. Okay, so please don't keep this confusion that if somebody is grihastha and they are practicing devotional service, then they are like ordinary karmi who are attached to household. It's not like that. Okay, somebody is telling you like that, so please don't believe in that. You can show them this verse. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So we will meet again next week to discuss 7th chapter, 28th verse onwards. Okay.